What's happening, guys? Doing a quick garden tour here for you. Show you what's been going on in the garden behind me. You can kind of see the raised bed. Our original garden tour just showed you everything getting ready to go. And now we're going to be going crazy with it. So here goes. So here's one of our wicking tubs. It's kind of a neat technology. It's got a water reservoir in the bottom that feeds these, and these are horseradish. I'm going to grow some horseradish, fresh horseradish for cooking. And then over here, got another experimental wicking tub. This is an artichoke. This is an imperial artichoke, and we're hoping it'll produce 20 to 30 good chokes on it. And you see, of course, our spice garden, and it's just going crazy. It's everywhere. All the basil's blooming. All those purple blooms are basil. This is oregano, some marjoram, sage, cilantro in the back that I had to trim. And then here is another experiment. I'm doing some Okinawan white bitter melon. And bitter melon is good for diabetics. It's supposed to reduce blood sugar. My wife is a type 2 diabetic, so we're going to experiment with cooking with this bitter melon this summer. Should be a lot of fun. Now over to the raised beds. You can see our onions, and these are red onions. These right here, these giant tall things, are big red onions. Got some dill here. We're going to have dill pickles this summer. Some fresh dill. And then all these ones that have got the yellowing leaves, this is Moroccan Creole garlic all the way around the perimeter. And then we've got some smaller white onions that I planted from seeds. And these will come up and be ready midsummer. We'll actually be able to take onions out of the bed. I'm sprouting some melons here for an experimental lattice melon. I'm going to grow them on a lattice. Now all these little rows here in the raised bed, we're using drip irrigation. These are different peppers. These peppers right here, little bank wheel peppers, little tiny teardrop shaped peppers that you might see in places like Brazilian restaurants. And then down the back row there, those are all bell pepper. Down the center, we've got some jalapenos. And then we've got some nopedeno, and I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but these front peppers right here, it's a, you can see I've got them labeled there. It's a pepper that looks like a jalapeno, but it doesn't have any heat. And then here, we've got our little apocalypse scorpion peppers. And they're rated at 200,000 Scoville when they're fully mature, so that'll really be crazy. Now we've just got tons and tons of tomatoes growing in our tomato bed. And see the unique system I'm using. This is how commercial growers do it. They use these little devices right here, the string on it, and they clip the tomatoes on with these things. They clip right to the string, and then you just climb up. And when they get to the top, these are indeterminate, so they'll keep growing all summer and producing. So what I'll do is I'll unhook this from here, let out 1 or 2 turns, hook it over here, and the tomato will keep growing. And so eventually I could wrap a tomato all the way around here, like 15 foot. So it's going to be an interesting tomato bed. Right here, these are blue cream cherries. These are a little cherry tomato. It's got a kind of a blue top and a cream bottom. And then this is a purple bumblebee, and another really pretty little small tomato. And then this ginormous guy is a Hungarian heart, and some of these Hungarian heart peppers can get to be over 1 pound. And then Thornburg Chericata is an old-time hybrid that's a really good tomato. It's considered an heirloom hybrid. It's a hybrid between 2 heirlooms. We've got a couple of those growing there. You can see I've already been pruning them. And what you'll see with this growing system is that I'll actually prune them so much that the bottom will not have any leaves on it for like a foot or so or more by midsummer. These are the striped Roman tomatoes that my wife likes so much. And they have curly leaves, which is kind of strange. None of the other peppers have curly leaves except this one right here to my right, which is a purple Russian. But they're just doing just fine. You can see we've already got, this is flowers right here, so we'll have tomatoes right here very shortly, in a few weeks. And then these right here, this is the green zebra. These are the green tomato. It's got pretty dark green stripes on the light green body. And then you notice these little guys growing along around the perimeter. These are carrots. Carrots are a good companion plant for tomatoes. And they're real thick right now. I've got to thin them some more. But along this side, what I'm growing here are purple prusa, which is almost a dark, almost a black colored carrot. And then I've got some pink carrots. I can't remember the name of them. They're pinkish color. And then around over here, we've got some Amarillo yellows. And then some red prusa down here. So we're going to have multicolored carrots coming out of the garden. You can see I've got to get down on my kneeler and work on thinning these out because they should be about 1 inch apart, roughly, so they grow right. So now I'm going to take you all up into the big garden. Steps. Everything in Tennessee's on a hill, this part of Tennessee anyway. And so is our garden. So you can see on this lattice to my left, we were coming up on the left here, those are all pickling cucumbers. They're another heirloom. I don't remember the exact name of them, but we're actually going to have pickling cucumbers very shortly. You can see this little guy right here. That's a cucumber. He's going to be ready to go in a couple of weeks. But they've just been going crazy, climbing up here and blooming and producing all sorts of stuff. You can see they've climbed all the way up. We planted another good companion for carrots over here is summer squash. This one, I don't see, yeah, there's some squash on there. You can see that the blossom right there. Right there, it's got a little squash on it. And there's several others going to produce. And then there's one there. And then here's some big ones here. These will be ready to eat in a few weeks. Very shortly, actually. And then here, my son's strawberry plant. He planted this last summer. He didn't know anything about strawberries. And it's actually produced a couple of strawberries. It takes them a couple of years to produce. And that's fennel. That's curly fennel. And then these are pak choi for Ricard wants to make traditional kimchi. Now the leaves are getting ate up by, we think they're flea beetles, but I'm not quite sure. I haven't caught any. And we've also had a slug problem out here, so I put down some slug stuff. That's just what this slug bait that will kill the slugs is iron phosphate. So it's perfectly safe. It's actually a fertilizer, and it's organic. We've also got some slug traps. It's a little cup I buried in the garden, put a can of beer in it, and the slugs go in there and they get a little drunk drinking that stuff and they fall in and drown. And over here, these are all eggplant, different types of exotic heirloom eggplants. You can see they're starting to flower. We've got some flowers on this one. Gonna produce some fruit pretty soon. And then I've been really successful with the lettuce. We're gonna do a whole row next year with some frisee. This is your green romaine. This is red romaine. Isn't that beautiful? And then these are butter crunch, and they just went crazy. They love this soil up here. I'm going to do a whole row of butter crunch next year for my wife. She loves salad. So look at how big those are. I mean, you can look at my hand next to them. How huge those flowers. And these will produce all summer. These are leaf type lettuce rather than heading lettuce, so they'll produce as long as you don't cut them off at the base too close. They'll keep producing leaves, so you can harvest and eat some and harvest and so on. In a small family like ours, we don't go through a lot of lettuce, so that'll be nice. And then here's our little pepper rows with some early jalapenos, some more jalapenos, and we've got some banana peppers down here. We're not going to do a lot of banana peppers this year like we did last year. And then this is the star of the garden over here. This is rainbow chard. And that's another one of those that you can cut and harvest off of and then turn around and it'll keep producing. You can see the pretty colors of yellows and whites and reds and pinks. And it's very delicious. You cook it with some leeks and some bacon, a little salt and pepper, saute it, it's delicious. These are tomatillos. And tomatillos are used in traditional Mexican green sauces or verde sauces. We're gonna have a bunch of tomatillos. I'm gonna put up some verde sauce in the cupboard, the cabinet. And we've got a couple of heirloom tomatoes here. We've really got to get out here with the hoe and go crazy. It's getting overgrown again already. One of these is, I can't think of the name of it now to save my life. But this is a yellow tomato and this is a yellow tomato. And then down this back lattice on this side, you can see all these. These are cucumbers. And these are Marketmore 76. It's another heirloom cucumber that produces the really big slicing cucumbers. So that's a tour of the upper garden and the raised beds, and it's looking pretty good. We should get a good harvest out of here. We're going to start harvesting some lettuce this weekend, probably some Swiss chard, and enjoy it. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later.